Hello and welcome to CTEC On Air. I will be your host today. I'm Sam from the Biotechnology and Medical Science program here at CTEC, and today we have our guest, James Weber.
Hello, I'm James Weber. I'm the assistant principal here at CTEC.
Okay, would you like to introduce yourself to our...
Yeah. So assistant principal here at CTEC, and just what that is I supervise 5 of the incredible programs here directly. I'm involved with all 10 of our amazing programs, and my primary roles, responsibilities are anything that needs to get done. That's the first one, and then curriculum, facility, structure, parent engagement, any type of grading, these sort of things, industry connections, and then all of the above that goes into our amazing building.
Oh, wow. Did you expect to be doing all of this ever since you were in high school or younger than that?
If you'd have told me that I would have been in education when I was in high school, I would have laughed at you. I probably would have fallen over laughing, actually.
Oh.
So yeah, no, when I was in high school, I would not expect me doing this. About 18 years ago, I would have told you this is what I will be doing. So
was there a different path that you had in mind for yourself?
Yeah, I was originally going to create pharmaceuticals in a lab, and I wanted to work at one of the big, which my path does kind of end up sort of with GlaxoSmithKline or Eli Lilly. But I then fell in love with economics, went to college, thought I was going to do biology and create pharmaceuticals. And then I started doing, calculus, advanced calculus and mathematics, and then econometrics and economics. I thought this makes sense. This now, it was a cool college, liberal arts experience to say this explains why the dollar is so powerful, why, the money and currency have caused wars, turmoil, also incredible success and happiness and joy. And so it's really started explaining this huge part of our life, which was money. And I was like, I don't think I want to create pharmaceuticals anymore and work in a lab. I want to do something with money and math and numbers.
Oh.
And so I was a finance and economics major. Yeah.
Oh, so I heard that you taught at some schools before too. What did you?
Yes, I taught mathematics at McKay High School. So I taught math and AVID, which AVID is like college preparedness. So very similar to here. It's, really helping students fulfill their dreams. Mm-hmm. So you have students that maybe are on the right path. I should say right path, their path. And they're ready to go to college. And then you have some students who really are just great human beings, but they don't know what they want to do. Yeah. And so AVID can help kind of provide that map for them. That's a little bit what we do here at CTEC.
Yeah.
And I also taught at McNary as an English language acquisition specialist. So I helped the English language learners there, develop their proficiency with the English language as well as their own language. We can call it our L1 is their home language, L2. And that was my teaching career.
Yeah.
And then I was an athletic director as an administrator at Sprague High School. So I managed all their sports and activities. And then I am here at CTEC for the last 8 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I would expect that the English language acquisition, whoa, that's a long, is there an acronym for that?
ELOS.
ELOS, okay.
Yeah.
I would expect that it would kind of expand your horizons to new perspectives. How did it change you as a person?
100%. So, my background's finance economics, went to school and worked in the industry for 2 years in the finance field, not in education. I then volunteered at Salesian High School and worked with at-risk sophomores. And that's kind of got me into, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to coach soccer and teach math, and I want to work with youth. That time I got out of finance in 2008 because that was during the Great Recession where everyone's losing money. It was a terrible place to be. I was doing my job. People hated me because their money was not growing. And I just felt like I'm losing relationships based on the market. And I wasn't, I guess, maybe I would say strong enough to take and endure that hatred because I was I wasn't making any moves, but everyone lost money.
Yeah, you're not in control of that.
And I'm like, gosh, I want to be on the joyful side of things, right? I want to be on the education side of things, and got a job at McKay High School during the recession. So it was an absolute blessing to work at McKay because everyone else was getting let go. So University of Oregon did the master's program, 130 graduates that year. Only 5 of us got jobs in the state of Oregon in education because schools were cutting because the funding was not there. We've seen this happen again and again. Right now, we're currently in that situation where school funding ebbs and flows. And this was the lowest time in the last 3 decades. And there was a $75 million deficit. So I stepped in there and at McKay High School, and I had no idea. I'll get to your question, by the
Oh,
way.
it's okay.
And the power and the beauty of diversity and language and cultures. I grew up in a very homogenous area in rural America, like Grand Oregon. So I think we had one non-white student in my whole high school.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where I grew up, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I chose that or anything. But then when I taught at McKay, it was this incredible community of languages, of cultures, of just experiences. And again, I want to be on the joyful side of things. So it's like this beautiful experience. It opened my world up to like, wow. Now, as a math and AVID teacher, I have no background in English language acquisition. I'm not a linguist. I don't speak a second language. I'm monolingual. It's my one regret in all my schooling is I don't speak a second language. And I know I could learn it, but I'm old now.
Still do it.
And so that was my ability. I think I just fell in love with education, and I still feel like I'm a pretty good teacher and I want to help students. And I think if you have that passion, desire, you can help them with anything.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the beauty coming out of multilingualism, I stepped into a role at McNary High School to try to help that and grow it, because at that time, there were some processes that I felt were ineffective with helping students. And I was able to implement some changes at McNary in a localized control. And we had incredible success. Students passing the ELPA, graduating, students who were on what at that time called extended diplomas. Those really they exist, but not really. They were then shifting in 1 year into regular diplomas. Mm-hmm. It was because our system didn't take care of them. Our system didn't see them. Mm-hmm. And our system adopted curriculum was so bland that it just needed a change. It needed a change of system and structure.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you were like the changing force for that. And
well, I was the tool. I'd say Principal Jesperson and the administrative team, Principal Rhodes, were the technicians of it. They were swinging the hammer. I was the hammer, but they were the one guiding me and directing me as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm a non-white person, and I just feel a lot of inclusivity in especially CTEC here and with all of the programs. And I'm just grateful for all of the change that came before me. So
yeah, it's a process, and we're not perfect.
Yes.
We still have a lot of students that feel excluded.
Yeah.
And, but I think especially here at CTEC is we are listening to those students. We're addressing it based on schools or policies. There are some things that we cannot do. We cannot make sure everyone, if I could wave a wand and everyone feels included, oh my gosh, please give me that algorithm, give me that magic. So we're trying our hardest. And I think as long as we're cognizant of it, then hopefully we can create a really awesome environment like you shared.
Of course. What drew you to work here at CTEC? Because I know that you said that you're drawn to helping with the youth and everything.
Yeah, CTEC was founded on the kind of concept of hope, right? Yes. That we could have hope outside of a great liberal arts academic education, but that we could, as a school district, do more, right? Mm-hmm. What our schools provide is incredible. I am a result of our public education system, of going to school, going to college. Absolutely. I am blessed. I am lucky. I'm honored to be here and to, have the ability. But here in Salem-Keizer, we thought I should say those that came before me thought we could do something different. We could provide not only strong academic skills, but also technical and professional skills. So our students like yourself, you're a wonderful student, but you're also leaving us not only with incredible GPA, and a great opportunity for the future, but you're leaving us with incredible lab technician skills, certifications. You're learning the basics of organic chemistry, plant science technology, these sort of things, biotechnology, future systems, sustainability, that a traditional high school would not. And that's kind of what drew me here to CTEC. I was also a coach in athletics. And even for me, I think that I was really good with books, right? And I can read a book and answer tests and pass a test within 90%, right? Yeah. I got that. Is that really good learning in the large scheme of things? Maybe. I'll tell you where I learned. I learned on the playground I learned on sports teams and athletics. I learned being in leadership like yourself and serving our community. That's how I learned how to be a human and how to engage with each other and how to have strong relationships and how to deal with problems. Um, and that's what drew me to CTEC. And that's what drew me to be an athletic director at Sprague High School as well, is just knowing that there's so much more with our youth than in the classroom. That's really important. Don't get me wrong. But oh my gosh. And CTEC is just taking the same as athletics and the classroom and then putting it together. And so that's what drew me here.
Would you encourage kids today to be more involved in sports or anything other than just being steady on the book smart route?
100%. Every college, every institution would also agree. I could be mistaken, so yeah, I could be corrected. There's a saying that said, this is not exactly true too, but there's a saying that says, if you are part of, you'll never feel less than. If you are part of something, you'll never feel less than. And a lot of our students struggle with feeling less than, especially now with social media, the instant gratification. Spring break's coming up.
Oh, yes.
If you are not going on a lavish trip and you're looking through your social media and all your friends are at Disneyland, I'll tell you, the killer of joy is comparison in our world. And so our students are consistently, instantaneously comparing themselves, not only to their peers, but celebrities, millionaires, and you feel less than. Sometimes you compare yourself. So we have a sociological problem here.
Yeah.
Where I kind of missed your question there just a little bit. Your question was about.
It was about. I forgot. I don't know. I'm quite catching that. Do you remember?
I'll get there.
Okay.
So it's like it's being part of something. That was it. Part of something like athletics and sports.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes. So being part of something is so important because you're part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can be scrolling, you can see your friend in Disneyland, but then inherently, I'm part of CTEC Biotechnology. Mm-hmm. I'm part of an athletics team. I'm part of a sports team. I'm part of an activity. I'm part of theater. I'm part of orchestra. Cool. And so you're not going to feel ultimately less than because you have a community around you.
Yeah. I want to add something to that. My friends, all from orchestra, you mentioned earlier, they all went to a trip to California recently.
Yes, they did.
And I couldn't go. I know, but one of my friends printed out a photo of me and brought it around them with and just took photos of it everywhere on the rides and everything. So I felt really included even though I wasn't there. So I'm just really grateful to have a family that I can have, especially here at CTEC too. So
well, see, because you're part of something, and this goes, say, outside of our walls too. This is family, familia, relationships, community in general. Community is so important, right? And just being part of something. So as long as we can provide as a school district opportunities to be part of something and grow that and break down the barriers and walls to engage, then I think our youth will be healthy. And if our youth are healthy, the hope is that we will continue to live more prosperous, safe, and fulfilled lives. Yeah. I hope.
Hopefully. For comparing CTEC to CTE programs at like our resident schools, do you think that in the future we could expand the CTE programs? Or because I know that there's kind of like a competition between CTEC and CTE programs with getting students and such.
Oh, you put me kind of in a hot seat here. How do I talk about this? This is a good question, by the way. Okay. Well done. Gosh, in a perfect world, we would expand the offerings. In a perfect world that we had ultimate dollars and money, we could continue to expand our CTE offerings and offer contextualized learning everywhere. Mm-hmm. I am a fan of options. I am a supporter that human beings have different ideas and thoughts, and we should be honoring as much of those as we can. I don't really believe in a standard process or a one size fits all at all. And that's why CTEC has allowed students and families to have an option within 10 programs, something different, not saying anything's bad or wrong. Our CTE programs are incredible at our high schools. Absolutely, nationally recognized, incredible. But CTEC allows options. It's just something different. So I think they're very similar. If we had ultimate money in this case, I would say we need a CTEC for middle schoolers.
Oh.
We need a CTEC for our families that want something different. When you look at other larger, school districts and states, they have a more robust system of magnet schools. And that concept is a concept of choice. The European system, many European systems with Hauptschule, what they call in Germany, you can test in and you can choose and you can test out too. It's not like you're just, slammed into one path. That's your only option. We need options out as you grow and develop. But I think that we need to offer our families, our community more options. CTE programs, incredible at our high schools, outstanding. CTEC, incredible and outstanding. It's just a different option to still get a great education and contextualized learning.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I'm part of health services too in my resident school as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they offer a lot of the same stuff. Like, for example, in my core class here at CTEC, I have an opportunity to job shadow with Salem Health.
That's awesome.
We get offers to view surgeries live.
Did you see a brain?
Yeah, it was
surgery.
It was aneurysm clipping. It
would faint.
And we were so lucky with that one too, because in our specific case, they put the camera really, it was really clear for us. So
I would faint. I'd get queasy. I'd be the one over in the corner that couldn't watch.
I was a fan of that. So.
I'm glad there's people like you though that can do that work. That's needed work.
Yeah, I'm just really glad to have this amount of options. Yep. And which one is your favorite program here? Like out of all the 10, personally, nobody's taking offense.
I've never lied about this. I believe in competition and I believe being honest. And I believe that I've been through and through. I love all the programs here. If I had to choose one of my favorite, I'll answer this in 3 parts.
Okay.
First part, right now, my favorite program, cosmetology. Why I love cosmetology. When you walk into our salon, there is just a vibe. There is just energy. It's the music playing. You will never see a student just sitting there. They are working, they're engaging. We've got customers. They're getting, I know nothing about the industry too. I mean, I was balding at 19. I'm not into fashion or look or anything at all. But man, you go in there and those students are laser focused. The staff are running around. It is just nonstop busy. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you had to ask for a favorite program, cosmetology. Okay. If I was a student when I was your age, right now, what program would I be part of? Your program, biotechnology, medical sciences. Yes. Again, I want to create pharmaceuticals. Mm-hmm. I was an AP science. I was an aide to our science teacher at LeGrand High School. I absolutely was obsessed with the Krebs cycle and cellular structure and, how ribosomes transport proteins and et cetera. I still like science a lot. Third, if I was a teacher here and what program would I teach in? I would be the core teacher in video and game design. Oh. I grew up as a gamer. I'm still a gamer. I grew up from the DOS prompts of putting the actual floppy disk in and going, C prompt, launch, and learning how to type and code all the way up through World of Warcraft, massively multiplayer games, all the way League of Legends competitively, Counter-Strike competitively. Whoa. So I have a huge history of video game playing, and I would love to teach that in a very positive lens. I think our society still looks at video games as being negative and being, those kids play, they're gamers or shreddies, whatever they call them. A lot of very wealthy people played video games and nerdy games because they teach you quick decision-making skills, quick twitch reaction, coding, programming, computer skills, IT solutions, etc. And these are all things that we could incorporate in that program.
That's awesome. I didn't even know you were playing competitively as well.
Yeah, I hauled my giant computer monitor into LAN tournaments at U of O, and we'd all hook up because before wireless, the wires. And yeah, it was a different time in my life, but yeah.
Speaking of your childhood and all that gaming stuff, what is a story from your childhood that still shapes who you are today?
It's a really good question. Um, I have a lot of them. I was so blessed and lucky as a child. I grew up in a wonderful, I, you know, I, I just want to recognize that my privilege and I feel like that's why I want to give some back. Um, because I think a lot of people have stories that are way different than mine that shape who they are and really define them. Mine are, I was very lucky. And I think, I don't know. My father just was a family man. He loved his family, and everything I do is for my family too, and for my community. He was a pediatrician, so he helped youth. He loved children. He healed the children and talked to parents, and was in our community always helping people. Watching people not being able to pay my father. Medicine's there's a lot of bills,
Mhm.
and we received, this isn't legal because insurance drives the medical industry. This is not a podcast about that, but my dad was truly into medicine to help people, not to make money. That's why I live in La Grande, Oregon. He was a UCLA trained doc, University of Pittsburgh, residency. And we had people pay us in services. So our yellow lab was because a family couldn't pay their huge medical bill because their child was sick. So my father always said, "What can you do?" And they would say, "Okay, can we have a breed of yellow labs. Here you go." We had random knives with elk antler handles that people pay. We're talking, he would expunge thousands of dollars of medical bills for families. One of our llamas was donated to us, pruning our house, painting our house. We believe in work.
Mhm.
We, as a family, I don't believe in freebies at all. I believe in you work for what you get and you earn. But there's a lot of ways to prove that. And so all my father wanted was just some sort of like something, of gratitude for his service to help the child. And our system is absolutely not about that. I know there's a lot of insurance issues with that. There's a lot of liability involved. My father did, but I think that shaped me for who I am today too, where it's like, let's let people give back for what they deserve. Because I think it's a human right for health care
Mhm.
and to be taken care of. And then let's just find a way to make it work, right?
That's genuinely so inspiring.
Mm.
I wish we had more providers like that too, and like I wish we had a system that
But then who would pay the lawyers and insurance people?
it just goes on.
The whole industry would
Oh my
collapse.
gosh.
It would be for good faith. We don't do things in good faith. We have, sorry, that's a joke.
Money rolls around.
It's a bad joke.
Okay. What's the hardest lesson that you've had to learn along the way?
um, the hardest lesson along the way of life?
Of life.
Geez Louise.
Do you want like a rephrase?
No, I'm
Okay.
just thinking of so many, right? Like I said, I think the hardest lesson of life for me was like being humbled. Like, and I still struggle with that sometimes. Just consistently being humbled by those around me to think like, to just stop talking and listen.
Mhm.
And so many experiences. And I think one of them was, and I'd implore and I'd ask every student, if you have the opportunity in the future to travel the world. So like for me, I studied abroad in Australia. I played soccer at U of O. I was honors college, hitting all the marks, doing the whole college life thing. I wanted to go to U of O because that's where Animal House was filmed. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Junior year, I was crushing it. Good grades, scholarship, and then went to Australia, study abroad, Perth, like I'm saying, international finance, all this stuff. And I had a really bad accident when I was there. I won't get into the details. My whole face was scratched up, really nasty, bandages, everything.
Oh goodness.
And it put me into a super depressive state. And because I was abroad, didn't know anyone, right? I'm there at campus, had no clue what's going on within 2 weeks of me being there. I had all these ambitions and goals to like, just, go to Oceania and a whole lot of things. And I just ended up watching all the Scrubs and just getting super depressed and staying in my room. And then after that, I formed really great friends with a lot of diverse individuals from India, Malaysia, from Mauritius, so a small island off of Africa, from Madagascar, from Zimbabwe. And just like they really took me in and healed me. And from there, then they offered to travel through Southeast Asia for 2.5 months. And I was going to go to the East Coast of Australia, do the whole college scene, like, like, and,
I get what you mean.
and I took him up on backpacking to Southeast Asia.
Oh,
So like I slept in barns in the Hmong tribes in Laos and Cambodia and Vietnam. Like I experienced an absolutely beautiful part of the world, the nicest people, just incredible experiences. And I realized how vain I was and how much I needed to be humbled. And I needed to smash my face. I needed to be seriously injured. No, really. I think to live a happier life. And so that's probably the best lesson in my whole life.
that's odd.
Yeah.
That's
why I have this scar.
Oh, battle scars from before. My goodness.
Always reminds me every day. I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh yeah.
Keep humble.
That's who you used to be.
So I would have, what I got from that is that you also have an awesome support group that you've gotten from that entire experience.
Oh yeah.
How would you, like, what would you advise people to be, like, how would they find their own support group, and how would they support each other through times of distress and like injury and such?
For me, I'm very outgoing. I can talk to anyone, even as a child. Like, I feel like I can talk with different groups. I have no problem going up to a different group and starting a conversation where a lot of people are hesitant. In the store, if I can't find something, I'll ask for help. A lot of people like petrified of that, right? And so I say develop that community, right? And just be super kind and nice to one another. Something my father taught me, my mom too. I think growing up in rural America, that helped a lot. Where like we lived out of town about 20 minutes, but we'd help people on the side of the road. We'd help people with their fields. We would just help out. And I think in that sense, you develop community, right? So I don't know if that answers your question, but just being the person that, don't be too judgmental. Don't have like a fixed mindset that you're like, because this person believes this, that means I cannot associate with them. And we see so much of that today where, yes, you might not agree with their beliefs, but the worst thing you can do if you don't agree with someone's beliefs is absolutely ostracize yourself from them and polarize yourself even more. And that's literally like our society right now. And it's really disturbing. And so if I would have done that, I wouldn't have had as robust a community to get me through hard times. So like, don't let your beliefs, I guess, like ostracize yourself.
Yeah.
And then just be nice. Just be nice. It's pretty simple. Be nice.
I know a lot of people need to hear that nowadays. I don't know. But I'm also curious about what you said earlier about like ostracizing yourself out of your beliefs, because I myself have experienced stuff like that, because through my peers, it's just really difficult that whenever there's a topic that comes up and then they say their peace of mind out of that, and then I completely disagree with it because I feel like it just goes against everything that I stand for.
Totally.
Like, what would you advise people that are going through that? And because I like them as a person, and I like having them as my company, but
100%.
I just can't agree with what they're saying.
100%. Pick and choose your words. And there's an art. There's an art of discourse. It is an argument, but of discourse. And only through experience will you find that. There's a million books out there that teach you how to tell you how to do it. But I think it's just you experiencing it yourself, right? And having that feeling, being in a group and having someone say something that just cuts you to your soul. And you start to feel sick in your stomach, in your throat. You get a lump in it. You want to say something. You're angry. You're frustrated. Your poker face is down now. You're showing, oh my. Those are real feelings. Be passionate about what you believe in. But I don't think you have to go on the attack.
Yeah.
And attack the person. And I also don't think you have to defend your belief. It's being okay with saying, I don't really agree with that, but, whatever, like we can move on. Or like, hey, would you like to hear my perspective on that? Because I have a different perspective. Now, never at work, right? Never when you're employed, we don't talk about stuff like that. And if someone is, I would stay away from them or keep your distance, right? Yes. If it's at work, your professional setting, it's not professional to do that. But in outside, restaurant, family dinners, community meetings, if you like that person generally,
Yeah.
just be cool. I've had people tell me like, hey, Weber, like, I know that you believe completely different than I believe. They're like, but I feel like I can still hang with you and it's cool. And I've had people thank me for that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't agree with you. Not at all. Like, I think you're crazy on these issues,
Yeah.
but dude, we're hiking South Sister right now. Like, we're not going to talk about political issues here because we're in Mother Nature in a beautiful environment, right? Let's get to the summit, man. And then we're just like, yeah. And we just move forward, right?
Mhm.
So I guess I don't know if that helps you or not.
Yeah, that really helps. It's because I'm like a very non-confrontational person, and like a lot of people have come to me being like, yeah, this one person, I really don't agree with their beliefs and everything. And I felt like I was just nominated to be like, hey, so we just don't like that part of you, but
Yeah.
I just really don't know how to move forward with that. But
And me saying this now is me being 41 years old and having absolute failures and me being so mean to people through my life that they hate me and me hating other people.
Mhm.
And then having experiences like me realizing I was vain and me traveling the world, seeing other cultures and me going to McKay High School and experiencing diversity of people and different viewpoints and me then reflecting back to my time in LeGrand and I still have connections there of individuals there. So like, no, this perspective
Mhm.
comes with age and I have failed completely through my journey. I've survived. I have scars. But you're in the perfect place right now. You should be feeling those things. You should be feeling awkward. I think it's a testament to who you are. If people come to you and say, hey, this is what's going on, they trust you. So you're building that community right now.
Phew, at least I'm doing something right here.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
What is the project that you're most proud of, or what have you been the most proud of so far?
At CTEC.
Just anywhere in general, anything.
Well, project I'm so proud of my family. I mean, I have a great family. I have 2 daughters. I have a wife. It's incredible. She humbles me and teaches me every day. She's the smartest person in my life by far. And I'm not just saying that. She literally is National Merit Scholar, 1580 SATs, just 99 percentile GRE, like has her doctorate. So I'm literally saying she's not a she's a doctor of philosophy, but just brilliant. So when I say that, I'm not being like, happy wife, happy life. Like, what? Like, no, literally.
Saying the facts.
Yeah, facts.
Mhm.
But professionally, the project I'm the most proud of. I could talk about CTEC for hours. We don't have that time. Every single program in this building, every single staff member, we have the best staff here at CTEC. They are absolutely incredible. They are just like, I love watching them being part of it. But I think probably the project I'm the most proud of is the accomplishments we did at McKay High School when I was first hired in the first 3 years. I wasn't there, but I guess McKay was a pretty rough school beforehand.
Mm.
And there was an initiative with the administration that came in and they hired me as a first year teacher to like teach math. And that school is incredible. And with very specific systems, like I talked about with an ELOS and very specific structures and laser-like focus, we were able to win national awards. We were winning, academic achievement awards. We were winning statewide awards. We had banners up, and within 3 years, we were one of the model schools in the state of Oregon. So from literally being a school that people were attacked in various manners to having such low fight percentages, expulsions within 3 years, and then winning academic awards. It's probably the work I'm the most proud of, just being part of that. I wasn't the visionary. I wasn't the one leading the work. And I was the hammer and someone else was leading me to hammer the nail.
Mm-hmm.
But just being part of that was incredible. And to see that leadership. And now that's how I've learned from, individuals like, Ken Parcel, Jay Weeks, Sarah Leroy, Eric Jesperson. They were my leaders in that time. And hopefully I'm implementing some of their skills today at CTEC.
That's awesome. I feel like you got to do like that, like with the back.
Not me. That's the work of McKay in that community. That's not me. That's all the Royal Scots. So
you had a part in it.
I taught math.
Okay. I know that you are really proud of CTEC and everything that you've done here. Yeah. What do you see in the future of CTEC?
Definitely continuing what we're doing.
Mhm.
But what Principal Rhodes and I say is if you are consistent, you're actually falling behind. Everything in this world is there's no such thing as stagnation.
Mhm.
It's decline or growth. Stagnation, that's stagflation. With inflation, it actually hurts you. So you can't put money under your mattress.
Mhm.
You're losing money on the daily basis if you just put it under the mattress. Even a savings account, you're losing money. So I love what we're doing here. We're going to continue what we're doing. However, we're going to grow.
Mhm.
We're going to continue to learn about the industries of each one of our programs. We're going to continue to offer increased certifications for our students. I think that we have realized that our students can do so much more in every program, that you guys are brilliant, and that we as a system just don't trust our students as much as we should. We are so, and for, again, someone's got to pay lawyers and attorneys and insurance people.
Yeah.
And there are reasons why we have to be careful with students.
Yes.
I understand that, but man, we need to continue to push and innovate in all of our programs to have students do more, right? To run possibly a free clinic here
Mhm.
and have our students do all the diagnostics.
Oh.
We have that, right?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, we have blood pressure cuffs, 3 hospital beds,
Oh,
temperature checks, otoscopes, the things with the eyes. Because our goal here would be is to get a provider like Pacific Source or another Regents or someone, Moda, to come in, and we can provide a free clinic here for our community and have one physician or NP here, and then have our students be the workers.
wow. I didn't know that. I only went to those rooms just to like mimic that setting, but I didn't know it was like actually heading to that.
Well, we would love it's
My
it's all
goodness.
based around funding and networks, but that's one of the, so taking every program and doing something like that,
Mhm.
right? Just continuing to innovate and having our students learn the skills and provide, as an economist, there's a scarcity of resources. We always talk that, in education, we don't have enough time or money.
Mhm.
We don't. That's true. We don't have enough time, don't have enough money.
Yes.
We need money, period. However, I think also education, they don't use their students as well as they could. And students are the most valuable resource that we have. And I think we treat them sometimes like empty vessels. And I think that what we need to do is use them more in the sense of like what you're doing right now, right? Innovating, changing the world, challenging ideas, and then really implementing those in real time.
As a student here, what would make the higher ups think that we have that potential? You can trust us with going forward,
Doing
can
what
you
you're doing,
change? Oh,
doing what you're doing
okay.
every year. And again, the school district, you say higher ups, they're wonderful. I've always felt supported by Salem-Keizer. And they ask all the schools and CTEC, what are the accomplishments your students are doing, and how are you doing that? And we share that information with all the schools, and I'm not saying CTEC, all of our high schools, North, McKay, Sprague, West, South, McNary. We all help each other get better. And we are growing, and we're growing together. And so what you're doing right now by giving tours and having industry come in and having parents come in and having people walk through the building, and we're hosting Leadership Salem tomorrow, we're having national tours come through. These are the things that you as students can do and can continue to do, is show up, great attendance, great grades, shaking a hand, looking someone in the eye, right? You're an amazing student and professional.
Yeah.
Those are the things then those people walk out of our doors. They don't talk about us for 2 weeks. They somehow find themselves at a dinner downtown, and the person sitting next to them is our superintendent.
Oh.
And they say, hey, I want to let you know, I toured CTEC. I met this amazing young student named Sam. They were incredible. They absolutely blew my mind. That superintendent asks, hey, Principal Rhodes, tell me about this student, Sam. What have they been doing? How have you accomplished that? We share that. Then magic happens, right? Policies are changed, things like that happen. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. I'm glad that I'm on the right direction. You guys have taught me well.
Well, and all of our students now, kids are still kids, right? We still, and
Yes.
I want students to fail and experience things too. Like part of my job is doing behavior. We still have behaviors. That's okay. It's okay to be a human, right? You got to have errors, and you got to learn experientially. And so I'm not saying be perfect. Go experience things, take risks, go out there, scrape a knee, do crazy things, get in trouble. Not that much trouble.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's healthy. So
yeah, just a lot of character development. Right?
Exactly.
And who or what has challenged your perspective the most? Like perspective on life, I guess.
Who or what has challenged my perspective on life the most? I think I've talked a lot about that, about, my growth in a positive sense. Gosh, I think, students have, I don't have anyone in particular that's challenged me the most. I think, students, challenge me all the time, which is wonderful. And that allows me to grow though, right? That allows me to listen and learn. I know Cynthia Richardson, who's part of our school board right now. She, while she's not my supervisor, I was allowed to be in a kind of program with her to learn from her in my early years of education. And she really challenged me to think outside the box, to think about, again, differing voices, cultures, community, and just really kind of be more of a listener. Like I said, like humble pie, right? Is your beliefs, but listen to everyone around you. So she challenged me a lot to think. My University of Oregon program, Masters of Education programs, also serves on social justice. That challenged me a ton, and it was really good for me too, to be challenged in that way. I did get defensive many times when I was being challenged. I'm really glad they put me through that ringer. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I still get defensive. I'm a human. Yeah. But I think that system challenged me a lot too. So, and I got staff. Challenge me every day. Staff challenge me all the time. But that's why we have the best staff. Because just like you said, we might disagree on something. But the staff that are here at CTEC, they are so professional and they are wonderful that they have the ability to enter a discourse with me as a supervisor. It's not an argument. It's not obstruction. We actually have discourse, and I want to know their perspective and they want to know mine. From there, then we come up with a solution that both of us can agree upon. And so I think it's a really healthy organization.
That's really commendable. Like, I can't imagine just arguing with my boss and like getting away with it, but like actually having a face-to-face discussion and actually getting to what I want to say out to them without having to filter.
It's super healthy. Not every place I've worked does like this. Yeah. Like I've been here for 8 years. I'm lucky to be here. And again, the staff are just incredible. And we form that relationship where I respect them and I think they respect me. And then therefore we have this discourse, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's discourse on argument. So
with everything that you've been advising your students, you've come a long way. I bet that you have a lot of people that look up to you and want your advice on how to become more like you and like the attitude that you have towards everything, I guess. Do you have any advice for those people?
Well, don't be like me.
Oh.
I've messed up a lot in life. I'm not sharing those things.
Okay.
This isn't this is on the record. I just got soccer players that I talk to all the time that I coached, 10 years ago at McKay High School. They're like 33 years old right now. And that's why I got in this job, right? I got in education to serve and to be part of other people's lives. Didn't get in for the money. Didn't get into it for, the vacation. Administration, there's not a lot of vacation. But I got in it to serve and it's so enjoyable. So thank you for saying that. That's very nice of you to say that. And I just think I took a class in college, existential philosophy. Again, I'm a huge nerd. Okay. So you have to bear with me. And there was differing perspectives between two philosophers, one called Kierkegaard. Have you heard of Kierkegaard before?
No.
Okay. And then one Merleau-Ponty, lesser known. And Kierkegaardian philosophy, from my professor's perspective, was it was based on more a theological perspective of if you believe in something, you ultimately fail, and therefore you need to have just blind faith to move forward. Merleau-Ponty's perspective was if you continue to have hope in everything you do, you will always move forward. And he said, hope is the ontological need. So hope is the forever need for our existence. And I'd say for anyone looking up to me, I'd say, just be hopeful. Just be absolutely hopeful. Let's, when you go to bed, hope tomorrow's gonna be better. Wake up in the morning, give your blessings. Thank you for where you're at, what you're doing, and who you are, and the food you're eating on your table and your shelter. And just be hopeful for the day. Start every day with hope. And I think you'll be okay then.
I'll write that down. Gotta save that for later.
Just hope. It's cliche. It's easy. You can read books about it. Like I say, you want to go to philosophy about different perspectives.
Mhm.
That's my thought. So carpe diem, seize the day. Just be hopeful.
That's awesome.
Even in the hardest of times.
Keep that in mind. Well, do you think that's a good way to end it?
Cool. Well, thank you so much. You're amazing. Let's get a CTEC handshake.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Is that good enough?
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Signing off.
Signing off.